I want to say congratulations on all your success.
Congrats to Finn Cotton Sneaker.
Para sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin dyan, Disenyong Pinoy.
Disenyo ng Pinoy para sa Pinoy.
Dinisenyo ng Pinoy para sa Pinoy.
Dinisenyo ng Pinoy para sa Pinoy.
Disenyong Pinoy para sa mga Pinoy.
One of the best seller nila sa Fin Cotton, napaka-quality.
Napakasarap po sa paa. Halos parang natutulog lang yung mga hinlalaki ko sa paa. The best. Fin Cotton is the best policy. Nobody's perfect.
What's up, man?
What's up, Nico? Thanks for joining, man.
Oh, sure. Anytime. Yeah, I'm at home, and medyo long overdue na kasi we talked about this. Like, we should have recorded Wednesday.
And then we kept rescheduling.
Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, I think it's just
Yeah.
the time. Like, I had something on Wednesday. Yesterday, we had a shoot. So, parang, nag-ano lang lahat. Nagsabay-sabay lang.
What a fun
Pero
shoot,
kasi
too.
ngayon, nag-open.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. NBA.
Fun,
Iba yung
NBA.
naisip
Some
natin.
members of our community were there too. I saw them commenting after the show. Much
Saan?
appreciated.
Yung sa ano? They're watching
Yeah. I think like Luigi commented and a few others. But definitely, at least today, I don't think we'll have spicy noodles and a glass of milk if we make a mistake.
Wild nun. Like, I kala ko kasi parang 2 lang out of 5. 2x pala. Diba? He was saying
oh
na
my
2.
God.
So sabi ko, okay, 2 lang pala kaya ni Navs to. Biglang, shit, 2x. Di ko nga kaya yung 1x ng yung Samyang.
And you guys tricked me. Well, not tricked me. I tricked myself.
No, it was
I
a
think, but I was tricked. Yeah, it was a trick question.
It was a tricky
and I was
question,
like,
diba? 2023, 2024.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh yeah, CP3. What did the Suns do? Was the other team? I forgot. I think the Raptors maybe. But it was like, what did the Spurs do? Right? Oh, they got Chris Paul. That's the answer. No, apparently it's not. It was so funny also how I think I was just about the whole day. Like even before the show started, when I entered, normally
Tulog
we
ka eh.
chit-chat,
Tulog ka.
catch up on things. I'm like, yeah, Nico, give me some time. I'm just gonna sleep. And then right away, it's like passed out on the couch right away. But we
Nagsasnore
powered
ka
through and
actually.
that-
Nagsasnore ka actually.
I was. Our
Sabi
makeup
ko, shit,
artist
pagod
told me
to.
that.
Pagod.
Uh,
Iba
but-
yung pagod mo.
Yeah, so but we're very thankful to our friends sa Basket Pinas and also 1xBet. They were kind enough. They gave us coffee also before show started. Get that spark of energy. But yeah, we're going to get started quickly in this episode because I think there's a lot to unpack about an upcoming big UAAP matchup. A matchup that really from a UAAP setting we have waited for since the end of December last year, the rematch between UP and LaSalle. And yes, I understand that UP and LaSalle actually faced each other twice in Phil Oil, with UP prevailing twice. And for those who conveniently forgot, that's also why I put UP as number 1 in my preseason rankings of the UAP, because they beat LaSalle twice in the off-season. And I can't lie, entering this matchup at least, I agree with what I said and what you also said before the season started, that these two are the best teams compared to the rest of the league, right? But at the same time, I think a few weeks later, now that we've seen both squads play 6 games each, I think UP is, if it was 1A, 1B, I think right now it's 1 and 2, if you get my drift. What do you think?
Yeah, it's also worth noting that LaSalle hasn't been, like the well-oiled machine as we thought they were gonna be to start off the first round. Especially that loss against UE, we thought they were gonna dominate other teams, but it's safe for a few teams that did dominate nga nila. But we should realize that wala ngang QMB last time they faced no, Phil Oil, which was the last barometer test of where these teams are sizing up each other. So Mike Phillips is gonna have one hell of a task on that day. I'm sure they're both gonna get 10 plus rebounds, but they're gonna be so tired right after that game because he would have met his match with Mike more of the motor nga, diba? Like his energy was QMB is just the perfect positioning and just taking advantage of his physical tools, just having a 7+ wingspan. to get those
Mm-mm.
boards.
Absolutely. That Mike and QMB matchup will be one to watch out for. That's why I'm actually interested if because sometimes Topex tends to pull these tricks where he'll have some people come off the bench, have them start. So far, I think Mike has started all games, but it wouldn't surprise me, for example, Topex kind of changes the theme of the game up a bit where it's like, okay, Mike, you come off the bench today, and then we'll match you up against Udodo, the backup big man, the FSA of UP, rather than matching you up against QMB right away. And then maybe Topex will do that with the mindset, okay, if we gamble on this and Henry can not get killed by QMB early and then Mike comes in and provides energy, it wouldn't not surprise me if Topex brings both Mike and KQ off the bench. Change things a little bit. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying in terms of outrageous ideas, it's possible. Coach Gold seems to be a little more consistent with his starting lineup this season. So I think we'll see QMB play there. Overall depth, talent, I think they're pretty close, LaSalle and UST. But overall depth, meaning guys who know what their roles are more, it feels like UP just has things a little more sorted out right now.
Yeah, and what else? Let's note also that heading to the game against Lasal, di tayo sigurado sa health ni JD because he didn't play last game. JD didn't play. Gani didn't play because of unspecified injuries. So si Gani, even if di siya maglaro next game, okay, fine. Marami namang pwede pumalit dyan kay Gani. But if JD doesn't play against Lasal, that could be a tipping point. That could be an excuse that can be used if ever UP loses to Lasal. People could say, wala na ba si JD so hindi namin to full strength. That's why I feel like UP should play JD just for like those kind of talks to disappear, or at least to not have that conversation to start. But yeah, of course, as a fan also, I want both teams to be complete.
Completion, exactly. Even for the NBA, which we'll talk about later on, that's what we hope for health. By the way, Nico, it took 7 minutes for our podcast to start before someone requested for tickets already on the YouTube section.
I've been getting DMs ever since the start of this week.
Same, bro. Same. Like 1 week before the season, ano po yung schedule? What's the ticket situation? Baka may extra kayong tickets dyan. I mean, it's not that simple, guys, but we understand where the struggle comes from. And I see Den's kind of emoting with Nico here in the group chat. But let's get on to the topic. Now, a listener of this podcast, I should acknowledge her. Her name is Jam. She sent me a message the other day, and actually, Nico, she complimented us. She was like, when you guys did that episode last time with the offensive statistics on the page, and you were both analyzing it, she apparently really enjoyed it. So that made me think, oh, maybe the readers would like to see some statistical, not really analysis, because I don't think we're analysts in that sense when it comes to numbers, but some of our observations given where the league is going now. So what I'm going to do now is put up some defensive numbers on the screen here. You guys let me know if you can see it for those watching live.
At least hindi yan mablock ng YouTube.
Inside joke. If you know, you know.
If you know mga nagpa-playback dyan, if you know, you know.
Yeah, and I think you and Jim De Ramos would definitely agree on this particular
Sabi
topic,
ko YouTube,
right?
Sabi ko mablock ng YouTube. Said YouTube. Don't
Inside
put words into my mouth.
To those who don't get it, I apologize. We cannot go into detail about this inside joke because
we love our jobs. We love our jobs.
Exactly.
This feeds me.
So, I do have to shout him out before I get to the defense and the offensive side of things. Someone who I actually met via DMs, his name is Kim Quita, and I hope that I didn't butcher his name. I'm gonna have him write for All Star Magazine soon. And one of the reasons why is because he tends to go into the details about the statistics. And one thing he told me about offense, I just want to point out before we get to defense, is he said LaSalle and UP both lead the league in paint points and bench points. So that speaks to both teams' ability to score near the rim and also their ability to send in a second unit or a third unit to either keep the lead or get back in the game. So those are two offensive key points to watch out for. Which team has the better performance scoring in the paint when the game starts when the game takes place on Sunday, and which team's bench ends up playing better? That could determine the victory But let's go to the overall statistics. Adamson right now leads the league in points allowed at 62. Ironically, LaSalle kind of middle of the pack, but 65, so not that far off from the league leader. And we can see defensively, UST and Ateneo both towards the end of the league rankings. And I'm surprised to see UST there to some degree because they're 3-3, but it does speak to some of the inconsistencies they've faced on the defensive side of the basketball. Some other statistics here that stand out to me. Rebounds. You can see that LaSalle allows the least amount of rebounds to their opponents. Same for UP. UP's number 2 behind them. UP and LaSalle, number 1 each in assists allowed in the UAAP. What does that mean? Their defense is malleable, their defense is versatile, and they force a lot of one-on-one ISO plays. In part because I think they're the 2 best switching teams in the UAAP right now. Switch is a defensive philosophy. LaSalle has kind of cleaned it up the last few games because to start the season, their defense kind of left a lot to be desired. And one of LaSalle's weak points right now, turnover points allowed. We know that UP is a very deadly team when you let them get out on the break, get them out in fast break opportunities. When you turn the ball over against them, they will capitalize. And whether or not LaSalle takes care of the ball might determine on Sunday whether this is a close game or this is a game that UP might pull away early and maintain their lead. LaSalle has done a better job taking care of the ball the last few games. I think they're starting to gel more with this roster because there was a lot of roster turnover, and not to make excuses for DLSU because some of the mistakes were self-inflicted, but they did lose out on a lot of players from last season's team. We talk about Evanelli. Of course, Francis Escandor was also part of the rotation. Benjamin Phillips played spot minutes, and Mark Nonoy low-key going under the radar as a loss for DLSU that they're currently lacking right now, that spark of energy that he would bring. The shot selection was always funny. And yes, of course, Jonel Policarpio, that extra creator. That's such a big loss because he was that KQ light version who would come off the bench and you could run the offense through him, right? But yes, taking care of the ball, that is something I'm going to watch out for a lot early in the game to determine, like I said, once again, whether this will be a close game or a blowout. Nico, what do you think of the defensive metrics? Anything that stands out to you?
Adamson standing out pagdating sa defense. They're almost the top 3 of a lot of stats that matter, like a total field goal percentage allowed, 2 points field goals allowed, points allowed, you name it. No, ang dami na. Adamson is in the top 3. Or at least in the top 50% of all teams. And that's the reason why they are currently in the hunt for the Final Four. And they stuck to what they're good at doing, which is okay. We might not have the offensive firepower that most teams have, but at least we got our defense to actually, that's something that we can control. So by offense, that's in a way, if it's not your night sa pagtira, hindi mo talaga araw. But defense, effort is something that you can control till the final seconds, and just the discipline and understanding the schemes that Coach Nash wants you guys to do, and that's what's keeping them in games actually. Save for that UP game na they just that's just talent just showing up. But other than that, ako lang ba or nag-zoom to?
I zoomed it in.
Okay,
Yeah.
kala ko parang may
So tell me which parts you want to see. My bad.
No, it's good. Like I'm just saying na it's Adamson na if you play their game, usually when it gets dirty, when it's below 70 points, you're usually cooked because that's gotta be Adamson's time. But other than that, nothing really stands out the rest. It's just Adamson that just pops up. Nagulat ako, sabi ko, ADU. While Ateneo naman, understandable kasi yung iba eh. Like you give up a lot of rebounds, you give up a lot of points in the paint because you are infinite. You are so small. While yung sa LaSalle, a bit questionable. Why are they giving up so much points in the paint? You guys are huge. Diba? Like they're giving up 30 points in the paint. So
that's from all
that's
the
gonna be some.
turnovers.
Diba? Like okay, like this could be something that UP could exploit because they have the size. They rarely take 3-pointers. They take efficient 3-pointers. It's not within their offense, so that's something that they might target. They might go inside the paint and keep attacking LaSalle, considering that it's a point of weakness right now. Just checking it, just based on the stats, no, just based on paper.
Yeah, and the Adamson point I just want to add here. they allow the least amount of points in the paint, and that's one of
Yeah,
the
isa pa
ways
yan, di
they're
ba?
winning these games also, di ba?
Basta
Parang,
defense, Adamson
yeah,
talaga.
they're preventing teams from getting into the shaded lane that starts with perimeter defense, the perimeter guys stopping the ball handler, the playmakers early on, and that ends up being instrumental in some of the games they've won so far. But the inconsistencies and the reliability on the jump shot, I think some of the reasons why Adamson might not have such a high standing. By the way, to everyone tuning in right now, thank you for listening to the Navs Effect podcast on playback on YouTube and on Facebook, eventually on Spotify too. Once we upload it, we have Nico Rocha on. Again, if you haven't heard yet, we are now friends with Finn Cottons. Check out their shoes. I'm telling you, good quality. It's local. Make the step. Make it Finn Cotton. And we're going to have a segment brought to us by them later on. I can't wait to get to that. First time Nico's going to do that segment here. So let us know also in the comment section what's your predictions. Who do you guys think will win the game? Do you guys have UP winning the game? Do you guys have LaSalle winning the game? Send in your score predictions, exact predictions. Who knows if you guys call it right, you might just win an award. Not an award, but a prize on the next episode.
Finn
Nico,
Cotton.
if
Finn Cotton.
Finn Cotton, maybe,
Pag
exactly.
tama yung nag-guess yung score.
You know, you guys want the gray colorway or you want the white colorway I showed the other day? Let us know exactly. Finn Cotton with Floyd Mayweather producing or rather advertising their product. That's big time.
Yeah, people are commenting their scores prediction na.
There we go.
Malay mo,
Let's
tama.
keep it up. Let's keep it up with the score predictions, guys. I'm telling
This is
you.
on
if you guys-
YouTube as well.
Yeah, it's on YouTube as
It's
well.
also
So
okay.
those watching on Facebook and YouTube, send in your score predictions as well. If anyone predicts it correctly, we will give you guys Finn Cotton free shoes. Dan's already telling Fran Lu, ginaya mo lang ako. So, Nico, back to the podcast here. If I asked you, give me at least, okay, no, exactly 2 players from each team who could swing this game, who would you select? And by the way, I'm not talking like star players because obviously it's KQ or it's JD or it's QMB or Mike. Like, who guys you think that would come off the bench or is maybe a starter and doesn't have a big role usually? If these guys play well, that will help their team win. Who are the 2 best candidates for you from each team, UP and LaSalle?
For me, it's Aldo Storkulas and Alarcon. Because our Harold Alarcon has been playing so well lately, especially when it comes to being a two-way player that he is right now. He's not just contributing. Si Harold Alarcon yung player na magugulat ka na nagle-lead na pala sa points ng team mo. And you don't really feel it throughout the course of the game. That's how it's weird. I don't know why. While si Aldo Storkulas naman, mararamdaman mo yung 6 points niya because he screams when he blocks people, rinig na rinig mo up to the upper box section. That kind of energy is infectious. That's why I believe that Aldo Storkulas and Harold Alarcon could change the complexion of how UP will be performing up to the end of that game. Because they will set the energy, they could set the standard as just the X factors. Aside from the usual na we expect, no, like JD, Francis Lopez, who has been consistent ever since as well. So yeah, those are my 2 for UP. Sure, say may Lasal na at this unahin na sabihin ko na rin. Sige.
Let me go with my UP, then you give me your
go UP muna. Sige.
Actually, no, let me do LaSalle first kasi the LaSalle one
sige.
is more, I think, clear in my mind now. The UP I'm still figuring out. My 2 LaSalle ones would be Agunane and Marasigan. Marasigan because Marasigan is kind of filling in that poly role, that guy off the bench, the big wing you can create with, who can run on the break, score 1-on-1, hit jumpers. We saw the game against UST when he can catch a rhythm. Pwede magpahinga si KQ. You know, it's not all give KQ the ball. You know, as great as KQ is, ideally, you don't want him playmaking every possession, that heliocentric style. We see that even in the NBA with guys like James Harden, Trae Young. It doesn't really work, right? Luka Doncic to some degree. Luka did get the team to the finals, but only after they got Kyrie. So with KQ, yes, again, it's showing his brilliance, but LaSalle is most dangerous when KQ doesn't need to be the center of the offense every single time. That's why having Evan last year and Mark was very helpful. So can Marasigan develop into that player? It's kind of early to say, but it would be ideal for them. Agunane, if he doesn't even need to be dominant. Maybe if he has a good game where it's like 8 points, 7 rebounds, 1-2 blocks, makes these free throws, doesn't turn the ball over, that could give LaSalle more of a, how do I say this, like a safety net, because Mike is going to play well one way or another. But if Mike can also be complemented by strong play from Henry, that would be beneficial for DLSU. So okay, now you give me your LaSalle players, and then I'll give you my UP players.
My LaSalle players gotta give it to Raven Gonzalez and CJ Austria. Raven Gonzalez, I feel like because there is a chance that Coach Topex might pull the plug on Henry Agonani if ever he gets cooked by QMB. There could be a big chance he gets into foul trouble. QMB has for me QMB has a big advantage over Agonani in terms of years of experience. Obviously, playing in NCAA Div 1 and the length, he can match the length of Agonani. So I feel like Raven Gonzalez could be that X factor na kaya niya utakan si QMB because he plays smart basketball. He plays boring basketball, but I mean that as a compliment. Those who play boring basketball just knows the fundamentals. He's gonna get to his spots. He's gonna hit that mini floater that he has, or just that put back layup. And next thing you know, you get 10 and 6 from Raven Gonzalez. While CJ Austria could try to get into. I'm not saying that he's a troublemaker. CJ Austria is just an enigma. He is a shot creator, yes, but these kinds of games could light him up, could put him into a different gear, which I like. That's the kind of CJ Austria that I love watching. He's very animated, especially yung mga PBA games that they played in Kadayawan. So when he's pag nadadala siya ng crowd, as well as he sees his game is cooperating, I feel like those two could swing the tide for the DLSU team that needs a wake up call, and maybe this win could propel them into the second round.
Definitely. A lot of LaSalle people on Facebook, aside from the boomers who seem to have an issue with everything related to Ateneo, they have been commenting on my posts. Some of them have been mentioning that, hey, LaSalle is usually a good second round team. That was the case with Topex last season. It's been the case since before. If they win this, I think it would catapult them. We'll see, because it's a tough ordeal. And the reason why, again, is because UP is very deep, which speaks to the bench points factor. So my two UP X factors would be Jerry Abadiano, who has that. Remember the Phil Oil Finals game? Jerry led that comeback in the second half with shot making from mid range in the third quarter, getting UP back in this game. And then this guy, Nico, Francis Lopez. It will be Francis Lopez. I'll tell you why. One of the ways that game in Phil Oil changed for UP in the second half was when Coach Goldwyn made the change. Instead of putting Harold to guard KQ, he put Francis Lopez on KQ. And I wouldn't say Francis stopped KQ, because KQ still got some buckets, but he definitely made KQ work hard for scoring in every action. That length, that athleticism, that speed, everything. So if Francis can hone in on being the stopper who limits KQ, and then lets his teammates take care of the other responsibilities, getting out of the break, scoring, rebounding, all of that, and he hones in on trying to limit KQ, I think that would bode very well for UP, because we saw it work. So that's one of the bookmark notes I have right now entering this game. I think that Francis getting the defensive assignment on KQ will be something we see at a certain point, and it could determine how a close game goes down the stretch, right? Because normally in a close game situation, you give the ball to your best player and you say, okay, you win this game for us or you lose this game for us. Again, Topex Robinson quote. So then in that regard, if you're the defense, you go to the person who is your best defensive option for another wing player, and you tell him, don't let that guy win that game for them. Stop him, win the game for us. I think that could be Francis Lopez.
Yeah, two-way potential si Lopez. That's why Gilas prospect yan at the end of the day. Like, he could be raw as hell, but he was still on that team for a reason, that they saw that this guy has the size to be a wing defender. Because alam naman natin, he's never gonna be a first option, second option in a Gilas kind of... I don't know why I jumped to Gilas. Marapit na si Gilas season eh. It's next month na, diba? So, and he donned the Philippine colors along with sina Kobe Paras. Oh, throwback. Kobe Paras. Anyway, yeah, that's why Francis Lopez, if he puts his mind into it, is the perfect stopper for any superstar that you want to put him in. If he's pro ready, you could put him in the, you could put him to guard like a Robert Pollock, and I would give him the task the whole game.
I'm sorry if I'm laughing, but there's this guy on Facebook named Mr. Valdez, 2 R's and a Mr. who is just an absolute Charles Chu hater. And he just
Ano
sent like
sinasabi?
3 or 4 of the. Like, I had a CSB post
Hindi ko
earlier,
nakikita
and
eh.
this guy
Go
was
lang,
just
go lang.
hating nonstop. It's too long, and parang yung captions are like in all caps. So it's
So ano yung
like
parang gist?
basically saying Charles is overrated and he hasn't accomplished
Okay.
like anything ever.
Masakit sa ano niya
Which
kalooban
I don't know.
niya.
It sounds like a burner account, one of those fake burner accounts who just was created
Grabe
to
yun.
hate.
You
According to
know you
Fran
made it
Lu-
when
yeah,
you
go.
got, you know you made it when you got like a burner account just dedicated to hating you. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
You see the people in the comment section right now. It's like who? I mean, not who, but like what?
Sino
Because
ba
like for
to?
example, Fran who's like mag-apply na lang siya sa coaching staff, and
Kala ko
Akira's
pa sa
like,
UE coaching staff si
alive.
Fran Lu.
Yeah. When will Fran Lu be in the coaching staff? Fran, you let us know. Fran, what kind of offense would you run? Would you run the octagon offense instead of the triangle offense? Mga bagong inventions mo? Let us know in the comments. Okay, let's get back to the game here. I'm
Nag-freeze
looking
ba
at
ako?
the statistics. I think, yeah, you froze for a bit, but you're
Okay
fine
na.
now. You're back now. Looking at the statistics, we talked about LaSalle UP. I don't think we're gonna do predictions right now. Let's not, because we just don't want to give people ammo later on to
We're
be
gonna
like,
get burned,
yeah,
bro. Like we're gonna get burned. I don't do predictions if you noticed. I just do reactions na lang.
reactions. Yeah,
I hate predicting, man. Like sa
I'll
PBA
do
pwede ko
a.
mag-predict eh. Pag UAP kasi pinapersonal lahat ng tao eh. Sabi mo mananalo sige. Sabi kaya ka prediction.
I'll do an end
Nagagalit
of the
ako
first round power rankings again, just for the engagement. Let's see. Maybe if I put Adamson at 8 again, they'll get all up in arms. No, but we're not gonna do predictions for this game. I'm predicting a good, fun game. That's what I want to have. You know what? I want a good, fun Sunday night game, especially if I'm only gonna get home at like 11 or 11:30. Basta wag lang
Yeah.
blowout. But who is your
Ako,
third
dude,
best
like,
team right now? Okay,
third
go
best
first
team?
and tell me who is your third best team. But go, tell me your kwento.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Hindi. Pag blowouts, maalis ako maaga. Like, aaminin ko yun. Pag blowouts na, I am the kind of guy, I'm 30, my time is very precious. So if I know na wala na to pupuntahan, aalis na ako. Like, that's what I've been doing. Oh, what happened? The fuck? Wait. My camera. Bro, wait.
All right. So while we're waiting for Nico to get his camera back on, let me tell you guys about the schedule of this weekend's UAP basketball games. Because why not? It's the end of the first round, and the standings are a little bit whack from 3 to 8. As we welcome Nico back on. Nico looks 18, says Tonyo. So just an update on all of you wondering. October 5, tomorrow, Saturday, will be. I know Ateneo is playing. They're the main event of tomorrow's game. Ateneo NU at 6:30 at MOA Arena. Before that, FEU UST at 4:30. So FEU UST, an interesting matchup. Can FEU continue on the rhythm and momentum from their last win against Ateneo? And will UST bounce back after 2 tough losses against the title contenders? Then on Sunday, the first game is 1 hour earlier. Adamson UE is at 3:30. And then the main event, 6:30, DLSU versus UP. Nico, you back there?
Okay na. Yung camera ko lang di nagbabasa. Pero okay, maganda naman yung camera ng laptop.
Awesome. Okay,
Were
so
we
you're
third?
you're about to tell me third best team in the UAP for you right now.
As of right now, UE. Grabe
I
UE.
I'm for it. I feel it.
In a way, the way we're doing this is like a power ranking. The way I'm framing it, but they have been just coming back from the dead. They've been there all throughout. And nakakatuwa, it's nice to see the UE Red Warriors get their flowers finally. Yung Ateneo, they haven't beaten them in 9 years. I don't remember the last time they made the Final Four. What's it? 2009. 2009. Paul Lee era pa yun ah. Ayun, so Sumang era ba? Paul Lee. Basta 2009,
No, Paul Lee, 2009. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that point. So nakakatuwa. They look like a third best team. They look like they love each other from the photos,
from the way they share all of their teammates' accomplishments on their IG stories. Because I follow Precious, Suelo, Abate. Silang tatlo lang yung fina-follow ko sa UE. And I noticed that they keep resharing all of their ano tawag dito? They reshare all their posts, which is a sign of na parang bros kayo. So I take back. Sino nagsabi na Greenwich? Hindi ako nagsabi na Greenwich UE Ako nagsabi ba ron? Hindi na sila Greenwich, ano na sila ngayon. Diba? Parang maganda pizza for UE right now. Hindi naman Jabroni. They're the new flavor in town. They're the new flavor in town right now. Jabroni sila this.
Who's our Pizulu though?
I haven't tasted Bisulu pa so hindi ko talaga masabi. Like, I really can't compare kasi I haven't tasted Pizulu yet. Pero yung Amano pizza is good. But Amano pizza is like UST right now na, okay, parang Final Four nandyan. It's consistent. They're 3-3, diba? Parang you know what you're gonna get. You know UST is not gonna beat LaSalle and UP this round. Diba? That's why, Amano. Na, alam mo, you know what you're gonna get. Like, the price sa Amano, yung pizza. Kaya fine. I'll take the damage. Kasi I know naman what I'm gonna get. It's not gonna blow you. It's gonna blow you out of your mind. It's just, hey, this is what I paid for. Anyway, UST 4. UST 4.
For sure.
UST. So, UE UST as of October 4, 6:11 p.m. Ito na naman tayo Baka, pag walang timestamp, baka madala till December. Anyway.
I like the UE factor. I like that they're in a 4-game winning streak for the first time since 2009. I remember, I think I called them an acquired taste. But they're improving. They're improving. You think they'll beat Adamson?
UE? Depends how Precious plays. Because you have Ojarikre and Manzano who are... Ojarikre plays differently than Manzano, no? Manzano kasi kanya utakan si Precious. Feel ko, Manzano is the perfect guy to get 2 fouls off Precious and keep him off his composure. And because Manzano's a physical big guy, diba? Like, ang hirap. Si baby boy loves to play inside the paint. And I feel like he could bait Precious to getting 2 early fouls.
Interesting. I really want to see how that matchup turns out.
Interesting though. It could go either way.
I think Ojarikre has improved, so I want to see how he guards Precious and if he can limit him. And then how the guard matchup goes. You notice parang coach hasn't been playing Jack Cruz Dumont so much anymore since Abate started getting better.
May echo ba? May echo pa rin.
Yeah, there. Now your audio is better.
I know now. Yung the way it's picking up from somewhere. Okay na ngayon. Yeah, so okay na. Better. Or it came back from...
No. I think you're good now. You're good to go.
Napansin ko yung settings sa playback. What's your question? Sorry.
Do you think that it's not a coincidence that as Abate continues to play better, Jack Cruz Dumont has less minutes now?
Yeah, parang Jack Cruz Dumont doesn't know where his place, saan yung pwesto niya sa team. Because I'm sure Abate has his job to worry about. He needs to get some people involved. Jack, save for those few threes against Ateneo, diba? He had a few threes here and there. The shot creating magic that he had last season parang nawala ngayon. It's more of binibigyan nila ka Abate to set up people. But maybe that is the way. If that is what requires winning basketball, I'll keep giving it back to Abate and then let Jack figure it out, unfortunately. Kasi gumagana to ngayon Bakit natin bibigay sa'yo just because of last year? Since gumagana yung ginagawa natin ngayon, edi let's stick to it. It's more of how can Jack help his team? How do you become more effective? And that's something the coaches need to do. Or how he could communicate with his teammates na okay. Or yeah, mostly that's on the coaches na. How do you involve Jack to what you're doing right now? So winning basketball. 4 straight, ba?
Yeah. And by the way, you got a question here. Your latest update on Moore Alau's alleged transfer to UST. Yes, he has transferred to UST, but he's not going to have 3 seasons of eligibility. I think it might be less than that. I'll try to find out more information. It's a very, very tricky situation. I don't know. I'm trying to find out more. I'll try to talk to him and then get some information.
By the way, Nav, meron dito may sinabi si Aki. Sorry for interrupting you. Minsan lang ako interrupt.
Yeah.
Welo Lingo-Lingo about Welo. For me, I believe he's the best 3-point shooter right now in the UAAP. He just started off bad, like the first 2 games. But last year, pa, believe kay Welo when it comes to his threes. I have seen him play in Pinoy Liga. He was torching all those Team B players. I think his shooting split in Pinoy Liga when I was covering last year was 57% from 3. He's fucking crazy. So yung 41% ngayon, na I'm not surprised, could be even higher. I feel like kaya niya pa mataasan yan to like 44, 45. And there's a reason he's a captain as well. He's the captain of UE. Diba? Di nyo alam, diba? Parang not a lot of people know that, but he is the captain.
And also, like with Lingo Lingo, it's a good point because he's getting efficient shooting percentage on high volume. You can make a case he's the best shooter in the UAAP right now because he's taken the most shots from all the league leaders in efficiency, and he remains very, very efficient. Coach Fran Lu saying box in one on Lingo Lingo. As we see Nico take a call, maybe he's talking to some sources to get some information out. Let's ask him about that after. Currently Abate, I agree. And I want to, you mean going back to the debate of Abate and Jack Cruz Dumont, but I want to read out something that Tonyo here mentioned. Using the UAAP formula, if UP wins and UE wins, that makes UE number 2 and DLSU number 3. With the scheduling format of the past season, number 1 versus number 3 on first game of the second round. So it's possible we get UP versus DLSU right away for round 2. So first, we don't want to jump to conclusions because UE has to beat Adamson, and Adamson has proven they are no pushovers. And we would have to assume in that situation as well that UP will defeat DLSU. And of course, we can't assume that right away early on. But if it does happen, then yes, we would get a DLSU UP rematch quickly. It could happen right away, the following weekend even, maybe. So what happens there, we'll figure out. So Nico, any earth-shattering information you learned on your call?
It's grab na nasan daw yung bahay namin. Sabi ko, sa tapat mo boss, yan po yung number. Tama yung pin. Usual conversations. Yun lang. So, sabi ko, mag-doorbell na lang po. Nasa notes po. Lahat nilalagay ko sa notes.
So sources say that your dinner has arrived on time.
No. It's a padala lang. Like an item na dumating today.
Okay.
Yun lang. I'm hungry though. Like after this, I'm gonna eat.
What's for tonight? Japanese or pizza?
No, I didn't order anything. It's bangus and talong. Like, ano tawag dito?
Good. Add talong for
parang grilled talong. Yung inaano mo dun sa apoy.
Open face.
Yung nakabukas. Tapos parang toyo. Ganun.
Yeah, I like that. That's delicious. And then you put maybe some pork on top of it or something. Anyway.
I put some what?
Pork or beef or like some kind of ground meat. You've never tried that? Oh.
No, I don't do that. Gusto ko yung sa tulong ko yung iniinit over the fire, lalagyan mo ng toyo. Yun, tapos bangus. Yun lang yung nandun eh. Andun na kasi food din, tinabi lang. So sabi ko, shit, sarap niya na. Naamoy ko dito eh. Nagta-travel eh.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's when it's most tempting. So, again, last call for predictions. UP versus DLSU game on Sunday. Let us know in the comment section before we get on to our next topic. Who do you guys think will win in the rematch of last year's finals? Will it be the Green Archers or the Fighting Maroons? And again, if anyone predicts the score correctly, you win a free shoe from Finn Cotton. PBA, Nico. Simple question. Who is your top choice right now to win the championship in the current playoffs?
Situational eh. Ganito I explain para clear. I explained this in a different yung sa podcast ko with Mario, PBA. I said na if Rain or Shine beats Magnolia, they could go all the way. But if Magnolia beats Rain or Shine, it depends kung ano mangyayari sa SMB versus Ginebra. If SMB beats Ginebra, complicated eh. Alam mo that Rain or Shine Magnolia series could tilt. They could determine who could be the champions. Kasi if Magnolia advances, it's Magnolia versus TNT, diba? TNT will beat Magnolia. So TNT. But if Rain or Shine beats Magnolia, Rain or Shine will beat TNT.
You think so?
So Rain or Shine to the finals, diba? Oh, Rain or Shine to the finals, diba? And then either of SMB or Ginebra kaya ng Rain or Shine. Hirap lang talaga Rain or Shine sa Magnolia. it's always been, whenever Magnolia wins against Rain or Shine, they win by 20 plus. They actually, no, ang average winning margin ng Magnolia sa Rain or Shine, what's 59 plus 29? Tapos divide mo by 2. Yun yung average winning margin nila. Whenever they win, it's a blowout by that kind of epic proportion na 30 plus yung talo ng on average ng Rain or Shine. 44. Diba? Sama. Diba? Tambak talaga. Pero sa game 5, feel ko, it's gonna be close. But yeah, that's so interesting. It depends. That Rain or Shine Magnolia series will determine who will be the champions. But for me, just for the sake of it, no, let's just say Rain or Shine. I like to see Rain or Shine win. I have a lot of bias na rin. No? I have a lot of friends from Rain or Shine. I'm friends with Gabe. I'm friends with Felix. I'm friends with some of the coaching staff, kay Sean. I think that's the reason why I want them to win. Same also with Karakot. Not Karakot. Save for also Mamuyak and their PT. So that's why I like Rain or Shine.
I think Rain or Shine winning would be good for the PBA in a way
It's
that
gonna be good for the league. It's gonna be
to
good
win, right? Good for the
exactly.
league, competitive balance and all that. But I agree with you. Magnolia just seems to have their number.
Lason yung Lucero. I mean in a good way. Lason si Save. Sobrang
Lucero's
hindi nila
like
ma-figure out. How do we figure out this dude?
matchup breaker. But Lucero was out for the last game. Let's see if he
Because
plays
of a
on.
concussion stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to watch the play, how it happened, and then make your assessments, feel free to show. If you guys think that some people are saying it was a dirty play, some people are saying, oh, that's playoff clean basketball. You guys let us know in the comments. Game 5 will be an exciting matchup. I can't wait to see who wins. But in terms of who is the best team remaining, my pick is still Ginebra. I really like
Ginebra ka pa rin.
Ginebra.
Okay.
Iba yung Brownlee, bro. Like the way they can just run everything through him, and the way that they're able to just stick with an opponent and then maybe try to win at the end of the game like they did in the last contest against Meralco in the fourth quarter time. I also really like how quickly the Stephen Holt adjustment has been good for them. He's like a Brownlee light if you think about it, right? Can knock down outside shots, can drive in, unselfish basketball player, knows how to play within the system, and the defensive versatility of Holt, lalo na pagpapasabay mo siya tsaka si Japet and si Brownlee together, the front line. It's defensively, it's very versatile. I think that a matchup against somebody like TNT might actually be bad for Ginebra.
Bad matchup ang TNT sa kanila. Bad matchup ang TNT sa kanila.
Exactly. But we know it's all about matchups. And like you said, what if Ross faces TNT? Right?
Diba? Hirap TNT sa Ross. So parang doon pag-determine eh. So interesting. I love how they made the quarterfinals best of 5. Kasi nasa-spoil tayong mga fans or those who
feels
just
more like a
basketball.
in the quarters, no?
Yeah, ano man Navs, napansin ko talaga, like checking, I got into like a rabbit hole lately of checking the views of PBA na recap sa YouTube. They still dominate the numbers by a lot. So, let's do this for comparison. Ateneo versus UP, the first 24 hours, I wanted to share it here in this episode. They got 100K 24 hours. Right? 24 hours. What? That's good. That's good. Yung game recap, 9 minutes. But a PBA quarterfinals game 4 game between Ross and ano tawag dito? Ross versus Magnolia na blowout had like, let me check. Chinek ko to kanina. I don't know bakit ako na ano ngayon. It's in my notes, sorry. They had wala. So, they had 250K after one day. So, a blowout yun eh, yung Ross versus Magnolia, still had 250K. Ngayon, they're at 500K. So, some PBA, a lot of PBA highlights, pag close game, maabot ng 800 to 1.3 million.
Yep.
So, nandyan pa rin yung
especially,
interest.
no?
YouTube especially. So, walang tao sa venue, yes, oo. Pero, in terms of nandyan pa rin, may nanonood pa rin. And hindi pa included dyan yung mga illegal streams,
The Gcash streamers.
So, maganda kasi quarterfinals ngayon. Like, I mean, I get the frustration of everybody watching.
Ang ganda siguro if they could have playoff games in the provinces, no? Imagine the turnout.
We had, kami sa NLEX, we went to Santa Rosa, Laguna.
No, I meant like Visayas, Mindanao.
They did regular
Imagine.
season, they did. Madami, napupuno
Playoffs.
lagi.
What if playoffs i-try nila? Imagine, right?
Kapagod, bro. Like, as a
No,
team member,
obviously. The
napapagod.
logistics,
Tangina,
the
kwento ko
cost,
lang ha. Kwento ko lang
obviously,
ha.
yeah. Go
Hindi
lang,
naman
go
to
lang.
kasalanan ng PBA, kasalanan to ng Santa Rosa Management. Team member ako! Pinag-park nyo ako sa Santa Rosa, SM Santa Rosa. I have the ID. Oo, kasi sabi nila, wala ako, like, kulag na daw. Sabi ko, what the fuck? Di ba wala dapat meron kami lahat. So, yun lang. Naiinis na ako. I had to walk 2 kilometers. I had to walk 2 kilometers.
2 km?
From
Oh my
SM Santa
God.
Rosa to the venue of where they're, I'm like, bro, ito as in ID ko, NLEX Road Warriors. Ano ba kailangan mong proof? So, sabi ko, anyway, yeah, but I came in early pa ako nun, ha. The game was 7:30, I arrived 5.
Bro, that's crazy.
Hindi kasalanan ng PBA yun, that's the security of Santa Rosa. But, napagod ako kasi sabi mo, ayaw na parang provincial game. But yes, but in terms of having people watching live, puno yung Santa Rosa, puno yung Davao. When we went to Candon, Ilocos Sur, puno din. That was great. That was a great environment, to be honest. And yun, overall, just the quarterfinals Navs is just really nice this time around. Kasi competitive lahat. I mean, ilan teams ba ngayon sa PBA? 12? 12, no? It's 12. Yeah.
Well,
Kasi
how many teams are
jam-packed
actually
yung
competing? Yun yung tanong, di ba?
No comment. Point ko lang is marami nanonood ng quarterfinals.
You know, people don't really realize how hard it can be sometimes to cover a game, everything that happens, especially if it's a big game, right? Like, for example, you go to MOA for a PBA finals game, lalo na if Ginebra, or an Ateneo Lasal game, or UP Lasal, you can arrive 3.5 hours before the game, puno na lahat ng parking, traffic, crowd control has to take care of everything, and like media doesn't get like special parking passes, diba? You park like everybody else.
Yeah, yung frustration ko, source of frustration ko, I have the parking pass needed. So parang hindi nyo ba isipan na-accumulate na a lot to for us. Anyway, but yeah. Pero okay lang sa akin mag-park sa mga MOA, Araneta. Kasi for me, I arrive early. I never
never arrive late. Araneta is the best parking situation for me right now.
Ano ba? I like both. For me, it's good, both.
But MOA just always seems full na right away when you get there. At least Araneta, parang
you feel so?
have a fighting chance. Unless you go like very, very, very...
Kasi I arrived 2 hours early.
You know, here's what's dangerous sa MOA. And sorry guys, we're going on a tangent here. But
ano ba dangerous
kasi
sa MOA?
near MOA Arena, may IKEA ka pa. May SMX ka pa. So if may convention there, puno yan. Then there's
patay
a
ka
church,
nga kung may kasabay kang convention.
then there's a church right next to the MOA Arena parking lot. So if it's Sunday and there's mass, obviously puno din yan, right? And people are looking for places to park. By the way, good job at putting a pickup coffee like area.
Galing, no? Yung sa tabi ng church? Sa gitna ng church at yung Max.
Great
Pati ako
placement.
Ayoko naman
Galing. Great placement, yeah. And then of course you have MOA, the mall also. Pag puno na yung mall minsan sa MOA Arena parking sa park. So, Araneta low-key is... And a lot of like for example, Gateway, Cybergate, Araneta parking itself.
Ganda ng Gateway 2, bro.
Novotel,
Sobrang ganda ng Gateway 2.
So the parking situation is slightly better Araneta, but let's not get into a MOA Araneta debate. I think I'll save that for another episode or maybe some content online. Okay, right now, who's your prediction to win the PBA championship if you had to pick?
I didn't pick pa pala. Rain or shine. Sana di ako mali. But your boy Save could just destroy what I'm gonna say today. So Lucero's the tipping point for Magnolia, to be honest. That's another 6-6 swing they have to worry about. That's why hindi makaarangkada si Jonard Clarito and Santi Santillan because of freaking Zave and I meant in a good way, not freaking. I'm like in the context of Ross lang. Because of Zave, Jawari Bird, they have those players na just annoy the usual players of Ross. That's why I enjoy that series. Kahit tambakan yung panalo ng Mag. Nakakatuwa lang kasi napaka-physical nilang dalawa eh. Parang they don't like each other. Which is great for us. I like the drama.
Mayhem in Antipolo. Well, maybe not mayhem exactly,
Antipolo
but
bukas
hopefully a good game 5. Exactly. All right. My prediction, I'm going to go Hinebra. I really just think
Ginebra
it's
ka?
Hinebra right now. I like the big lineup they can come out with when they play Brownlee and Holt and Japet and then Scotty running the show and then RJ off the bench pa. Like a not a seasoned vet, a seasoned rookie. A rookie who's technically not like a rookie coming off the bench to lead your attack, second unit. Dangerous weapon. None of us chose San Miguel, no? Why do you think that is? What's kulang sa San Miguel this conference?
So they brought in a new import.
They keep changing it. Yeah.
No. Kasi na-injure si Jordan Adams. Si Jordan Adams yung original import nila.
But they also had one game with someone else and then they brought Adams in.
Yeah.
And then now
so yung guy
they changed
doesn't
import.
really fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now si EJ Anosike, that's their... Yeah, Sheldon Mack was the one-game import, and then they went back to Jordan Adams. Jordan Adams got injured, and then now they brought in EJ Anosike. My only problem with EJ Anosike is because his playstyle clashes a lot with Junmar Fajardo. Anosike is a player that lives in the paint. Like, yes, he can get you 30, 40 points. Okay. But when you need a bucket, masikip yung like, that's less options for CJ Perez to do his usual thing. Even though diba, not a lot of people are fans of CJ. Parang acquired taste si CJ din sa PBA fans or fans in general. And yeah, that's why I don't feel SM because I believe na their lineup management isn't as good. Not to mention the fact na Anosike doesn't fit well with the team in terms of chemistry. Yun lang talaga, it's just chemistry. While Hinebra is peaking at the right time. They already found their 3-guard rotation sometimes that work. And matas kumpiyansa na lahat. RJ Abarientos, Mav, Holt, and of course, Justin Bieber.
I really like what RC here said. Sana finals Ross versus Junior SMB. Parang kung fu movie si Coach Yang and Boss Al Francis. Coach Yang's
I feel like that's gonna
comments would be fire, like in terms of like content online. Can you just imagine that? Like the post-game press conferences.
Kung pwede natin share.
I see what you did there. Okay, let's go NBA. NBA season's about to start shortly. Media Day was a few days ago. We discussed NBA sa Basket Pinas yesterday. Shout out to our your co-host and someone who helped both of us, I think, transition to the show rather efficiently. Miss Mara Aquino, thanks for all the help with the show, and thank you again to the team for having us. Good topics, a lot of excitement, moving faces, rivalries renewed, and a lot of teams kind of in the middle, parang figuring themselves out, right? Like, where are we heading into this new NBA season? Who are we rooting? Not exactly who are we rooting for, but what is our identity? What kind of plays do we run on both ends of the floor? And more importantly, who do we put out there in crunch time? And it's funny I say that because we're going to discuss two teams that when you think about it, they should be used to who they are now, right? Who their identity is as teams. Talking about the Miami Heat, the team I follow closely the most, and the Golden State Warriors. And for obvious reasons, we just have to look at the jersey at the back of your screen to know why. And it's so ironic because to me, Miami, this Jimmy Bam core has been together for about 6 years now. This is going to be the 6th season together. And the Warriors with Steph and Draymond, they've been together really for the entirety of their careers. The key difference for your Warriors this season is no more Klay Thompson. You bring in Buddy Hield. Maybe you're expecting Pajemski to have a better season.
Kyle Anderson will bring us to the promised land.
Slow-mo.
Kyle Anderson.
Slow-mo. So what's a realistic expectation for the Warriors this season, Nico?
Sabi ko muna yung sinabi ni Steph Curry, Unahan ko muna siya. Sabi, para lang to get it out of the way. Sabi ni Steph Curry, this reminds him of 2021-2022 championship. Fuck no. It doesn't remind me of that. It feels like he hit his head somewhere for him to say that. He said that in an interview. He said a Warriors roster
Maybe he was
reminds Steph
talking
Curry.
about the Olympics.
We're a play-in team. We're a 9th, 10th seed. Buddy Hield doesn't solve the defense. The Warriors will score 110 to 120 a game but give up 125. So, talo pa rin, di ba? I'm not really optimistic with the Warriors this season. That's what That's how I am with my teams. I'm very, what do you call this? I'm very realistic. And it's gonna be fun though. Madaming papatres, madaming ano. But who knows? I could be wrong, right? Who knows that Trace Jackson Davis could be like a better version of Derek Lively. Kevin Looney said he has been shooting 400 to 500 threes during the summer per day.
Oh my God. I hope
Yeah,
he takes
Kevin
5
Looney
threes a
said that.
game.
So it's a matter of, is Steve Kerr gonna allow you to shoot that? Are you even gonna sniff the floor even? So let's see. There are some things makikita natin, and I'm not really optimistic. Maybe a 42-40 season is great enough for me.
So if they make the second round, you'd be happy.
Yeah, man, like just make the second round. Okay na. Pwede ko na sabihin successful season for the Golden State faithful.
What if, let's play the what if game. The Warriors are like 4 or 5 games below 500 by the trade deadline. And, you start getting those rumors or those reports like, hey, Steph Curry, maybe he wouldn't mind a new landing spot, a new team to go to.
I'm not gonna
for
trade
the
Steph.
rest of
Holy
his-
shit.
No, just a what if game. Let's say, for example, Steph decides to go to the Warriors GM and it's like, hey, guys, been a good run. We won 4 rings together. We brought this franchise back to championship status. I want to spend the rest of my career playing with other superstars and win more rings. Maybe get 6 rings or 7 and be kind of compared to the GOATs of the GOATs when it comes to the legacy talk, right? Give me the top 3 teams you wouldn't mind seeing Steph Curry traded to.
Okay, let me think. So let's go muna with the obvious low-hanging fruit, no? I want to see him. Actually, yung low-hanging fruit. Dun tayo. Lagay ko siya sa Charlotte. Para, like, at least we get some good young pieces, whoever they're gonna trade to. Can you hear me? Okay, kala ko nawala. Okay. So I'm gonna bring him to Charlotte. First of all, put him in the East. I don't want to see him in the West. He goes home. We get some young pieces in return. Tingnan natin, what can we get sa what do you call this? The Charlotte. I know they're not gonna trade LaMelo, but what if he suffers another ankle
They
injury?
They should trade
What if-
LaMelo.
what so ano lang naman to, 'di ba? We're just having fun here.
Hypothetically.
So I want them to trade LaMelo. Ayusin ng Warriors yung ankle issues ni LaMelo, how they did with Steph. We're gonna build a new dynasty with LaMelo Ball, with Jonathan Kuminga and the rest of whoever's staying with the Golden State Warriors. So that's one, Charlotte Hornets. The next one where I want to see Steph Curry in is maybe the Miami Heat. Okay, see Steph with Miami. What do you call this? Pero you might, Tyler Hero, right? That's gonna be the pieces.
Bye,
Tyler Hero.
If that's the case,
Khalil
bye, Tyler.
Sino ba?
Hey, bro,
Sino ba
don't
pwede
you know
namin kunin?
Tyler Hero's 11 from Stranger Things? He can do great things on the basketball court, bro. He'll help the Warriors be a contender again.
Tanong, is he on the court? How many games can he give me? 10? 20?
We'll give you Duncan
So,
Robinson.
who do I want? So Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, maybe 3 first-round picks, and then few pick swaps. And then
Khalil
more,
Ware,
maybe.
the rookie big man.
Khalil, Khalil Ware.
Jovic,
It's Khalil.
Hawkins. Ooh, what if? Okay, let's play you were Warriors GM. I was Heat GM. Okay? Let's play this game for fun. Ring. Nico Rocha, what's up, my guy? Remember the days we used to podcast together, hang out together? You used to be a bad influence, get me drunk all the time. So now,
Hindi ako uminom.
NBA
Hindi ako uminom.
I'm just joking. Hey, Nico, remember the time when I used to get you drunk all the time and you'd say yes? Now, anyway, that's past behind now. We're NBA GMs now. So here's my offer for you. Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, Tyler Hero. By the way, we're like letting go of salary cap stuff here because we're probably wrong somewhere, but just for fun, right? So Jovic, Jaquez, Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, and 3 first-round picks. And you know what? I'll add one more first-round swap for Steph Curry, and you just give me one more role player. Would you say yes to that deal?
Sino role player bibigay ko sa'yo? Sino ba worst role player namin? So basta to make the salary
filler,
to make the salary cap. Oh, salary filler. yeah, fuck it. I'll take it. Kasi ano eh, it depends nasaan na yung puso ni Steph Curry nun eh. 'Di ba?
That's
At
true.
this point,
Exactly.
nasaan na siya like what use is Steph Curry if his heart isn't in it anymore, 'di ba? Like what if tumabot nga tayo
Yeah.
sa point na di na niya talaga na 'di ba? Like a breakup looks like it's coming at some point even though nag-resign siya. But the losses can add salt to the wound. So ako para sige, bigay ka na namin. Pero again, if that is the best offer, kung sabi mo ba yan yung best offer. If there are better offers, syempre, wiway ko yung options ko. Pero what if Miami offer lang? No, take it na lang kung kesa sa zero na ano. I don't want a disgruntled Steph Curry. I don't want him to be sour to the franchise. So, I want to, in a marketing aspect din, ayoko pakita sa public na sumama yung tingin ni Curry sa Warriors eh. I have to make people look at my franchise na it's worth coming here. Na yeah, we're players first. So it's the brand image in isip ko eh. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, Steph goes to, and he's like, Nico Rocha, you and I, we've had a great run. I want to go to Miami, play golf there, where it's always sunny. I want to play with Bam. I want to play with Jimmy. I want to play with Spo. Steph would be my dream target. All things considered. Like, if there's one guy you told me, who's the one guy you would give up your left leg to see play for your team? The answer would be Steph. Can you imagine Steph and Bam together? But let's segue to the Heat. Let's close this out by talking quickly about the Heat. I want you to give me like a splash of your reality or where you see the Heat right now. Because, since Media Day the other day, and by the way, I'll be covering the Miami Heat this season for 5 Reasons Sports, as well as for my own personal account. So, looking forward to another NBA season, everybody. There are some days I'm like, this team is getting older. It may have ran its course. Jimmy is in the last year of a contract. He wants an extension. Seems like on Media Day, he came in very serious, no crazy hairstyle, and he looks ready to go this season. They're all saying the right things in interviews. I've been watching the interviews every day when I wake up in the morning. They're all saying the right things. Sometimes I still tell myself, maybe this group has ran its course, and it's time to hit the restart button and see what else you can get out there. But then there's sometimes also I'm driving and I'm like, you look at the East. Boston has continuity, yes, but Philly has a lot of new pieces they have to put together. Same with the Knicks. The Cavaliers, I'm not big believers in them. I don't think they have the Allen Mobley situation figured out. And I think Garland, it's so funny how everyone just forgot that Garland said, or rather via his agent said, that they might request for a trade if Mitchell signed, and then suddenly everything's okay again. Orlando, they still have things to prove. Miami has continuity. And Jimmy's older, yes. But Bam and Hero, and technically Robinson, are still about to hit their prime. And I think Bam has improved. I guess someone's trying to call me. Bam has improved. And the young guys, Jaquez, Ware, Jovic, if even one or two of those guys take a leap, who knows? Maybe they'll be back there in the conference finals. What do you think? Where do you see them?
The Miami Heat. They look like a solid 4 or 5 seed to me. But they could get some first round what do you call this, Navs? First round home court advantage. Assuming na everyone's healthy, ito na naman tayo eh. 'Di ba? Lagi namang ganun eh. But is it right to say na they're a 4th seed if they're healthy, or they are a 3rd seed? Because I feel like it's Boston, New York eh. I don't think so anybody could penetrate that first two eh. What do you think?
Right now, talent-wise, I would say yes.
They could wait, what yes to 4th seed or yes to being a top 2 seed?
No. Boston, New York being the top
Yeah.
teams
Okay.
in the
So agree
East.
tayo dun. Yeah, agree tayo dun. But do you think Miami's full strength, like we played 65, 70 games, all healthy players, they're just the 4th seed? Or they could be a 3rd?
Let me ask you a question before I answer that. Let's say you were ranking seeds not according to where you see them finishing at the regular season, but rather according to where you see them being a threat in the playoffs. So if you had to rank the top teams in the East in terms of being a playoff threat, where would the Heat be for you?
2.
right? Right behind the Celtics, I'm guessing, right?
Right behind the Celtics.
Exactly.
New York
That's
will
something.
go down because they're gonna be so fucking tired by the time the playoffs arrive. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same problem for New York. They lost more piece, di ba? 2-for-1 tong trade na to eh. You lost Dante and Julius. So, mas lessen pa yung depth. So, masasagad yung 6, 7 man, up to 7 guys lang yan. Di ba? Oh, what's that? What did I do? But my bubbles. But my, yeah, anyway. So, yung takot ko sa New York na Tibbs is gonna run you guys to the ground. And what a reunion, no? Tibbs and Cat again.
We're forgetting
They
about
have a
the
good
Bucks, by
relationship.
the way, no? The Bucks. But yeah, Tibbs and
I
Cat.
mean, the Bucks could be also good, pero who's their coach again?
Okay. Let's not go to the danger
Di ko makakalimutan yun.
No, the Bucks. I want to see how Lopez and Middleton look. I think they're a year older, and they fortified their bench a bit. Pansin mo, Giannis has been a little more injury prone the last few seasons. Let's see. If he stays healthy, they're as dangerous as anyone in the East, obviously. That's how good Giannis is. I have the Heat as the second most dangerous playoff team in the East right now, too. And I'm just saying right now because the season hasn't started yet. We haven't seen the other teams yet. But next to Boston, I mean, I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast with Kirk Goldsberry a few hours ago. And do you know, Nico, who are the two teams who have made the finals more than once since 2020? The only two teams to make the NBA finals more than once since 2020.
Fuck. I don't know, like Miami's one. I don't know, sino ba?
Boston.
Sorry. I mean,
Boston.
they're part of that ba?
Yes.
Sorry, I
Yes.
was excluding Boston because they won last. Like, sino ba? The other teams. Okay, okay, Miami, Boston. Okay, tama ka.
So
Sorry, I was
Miami and
excluding Boston.
Exactly. They're the only two teams that have made the finals more than once since 2020. And RC's right. I also think the Heat can upset the Celtics. And last season's playoffs was domination from Boston's effort. Congratulations to them for that. There was no Jimmy Butler, though. We know things are different when Jimmy Butler is playing and if Jimmy Butler is healthy. So I want to see where healthy Jimmy could possibly take Miami this season. But let's call a wrap on this podcast. A lot of great topics. Nice one, homie. Thanks for tuning in. What will Bronny say when asking for a pass from LeBron? Daddy.
Pag-usapan natin kahapon,
I'm
diba?
open up the- Nice. We need to talk about
Pag-usapan natin kahapon.
Bronny. Yeah, me and Nico made a joke too. We can apply for the assistant coaching spots in the Lakers, since we have podcasts.
Podcast na kami.
Ooh! Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Again. Oh wait, we forgot the quick segment. Okay, quick lang, Nico. Our Finn Cotton segment of this episode.
Go.
Predict the best player of the game for Sunday's UP versus DLSU match. Not necessarily the best person or best player from the winning team, but the guy who just plays the best.
Sino nga ba? Kagulangan if he plays.
Kagulangan, I like that.
Okay. Let's pick Kagulangan.
I'm gonna say QMB. I think QMB.
Oh, QMB, okay.
Game. I think so. Yeah,
So,
I think QMB
are we
is
gonna
gonna
pick
have
a
his
LaSalle
best
side?
game yet. Sorry? No.
Are we gonna
Okay,
pick
let's
LaSalle?
do both teams. So from UP, I think it's QMB. From LaSalle, I think it's Phillips. Because Phillips seems to always play well against UP.
Yeah. Mike rin ako eh.
Mike talaga.
Mike
Against
talaga.
UP, there's something about that matchup that Mike likes. But that was in years past without QMB. Mike had Malik's number. I'm not sure if he'll have QMB's number. We shall find out. That's one of the
Tingnan
reasons
natin.
I'm excited for Sunday's game. Nico, anything you have coming up?
Wala naman. I just been doing PBA podcast lately. It's been doing really well. Weirdly enough, na I didn't realize na PBA and podcast would go hand in hand because I thought people's attention span for podcast pagdating sa PBA market is honestly lower compared to kasi napapansin ko pag UAAP podcast na 45% yung view duration. But sa PBA it's like 36. Pwede na. I was expecting nasa 17, 18. But ayun. I've been been doing it with Mario. So yun lang, more quick PBA analysis on the podcast. It's fun. We do it at night after the games. Immediately namin ginagawa. And wala naman. It's just here. Like this is what we've been doing with our lives. Na UP PBA. Can't wait for Gilas November. Gonna watch those games.
Absolutely. Can't wait to have some Gilas talk. We need to have our buddy Josh Bet on again soon to discuss Gilas matters. For me, well, I'm taking a day off on Saturday, October 5. Won't be covering UAP even on social media.
Zero
I need
dark
a day
30.
off, man. I need a day off. Recuperate my energy. Then Sunday, we're back on the grind. But yes,
So
thank you,
fall off ka lang
everybody.
sa earth. You just fall off tomorrow.
No,
Wala
I'm
ka na.
watching Joker. I'm watching Joker.
Joker. Okay.
I got boxing in the morning. I'm gonna start my boxing again. I'm gonna do boxing in the morning, and then I am going to chill in the afternoon. Maybe get a 2K game in there, or maybe lie down, watch a series, and then I am going to watch Joker hopefully at night with popcorn, with frozen yogurt, with candy and chocolate. To the Navs Effect community chat members on Messenger and on Facebook, just letting you guys all know in advance, I will probably mute the chat tomorrow. You all be nice. Y'all be nice. Y'all not be naughty. Christmas is coming soon. I'm making a list. Nah, I'm just joking. But yeah, Sunday should be a good one. Need my energy for that. Much love to everyone for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Nico, God bless. Take care. And to everyone tuning in, stay safe. Wishing you all the best always.
Alright, man. Thanks for having me.